Hi, 8th grade friends, it's me, Miss Townhouse. I'm back to talk to you more about the second half of our presentation, which includes a little bit more advanced searching. So thank you for listening thus far. Okay, so do you remember how we were doing a keyword search of Ruth Bader Ginsburg? I want to talk to you a little bit about setting some filters on our searches, and this is definitely something Miss Citron is going to be showing you a little bit about Boolean searching, and that's where it happens under advanced searching as well. So if I click advanced searching, it was located just under that magnifying glass. I'm going to scroll down to sort of set my location and just to see, like, I only want materials to come in this format and I only want them to be at this location. So I'm going to, let's see, if I don't want to change and put any filters, I can still just enter Ruth Bader Ginsburg here. However, I want to get a little bit more specific, because I only want it to be at, let's say, the Mayfair branch. I can walk right over, and I only want it to be a book, and it has to be there. Date published, again, if you want to set something between, a certain number of years, which I'm going to talk to you a little bit about, that you can do with databases, about having, current research, from 2010 to 2020, which would be 10 years, which is considered pretty current. Okay. So remember, I said it only has to be at Mayfair, which I'm not seeing. While you wait. Oh, Portraits of Jewish American Heroes looks very interesting. Oh, and it's included. So yeah, these are all of the titles that are at this branch. And so where you would see where it's available would be available at a preferred location. So because I selected Mayfair, that's where I can find it. So it's because it doesn't say here that there's my preferred location, it's not held at that branch. Okay, great. And so that's how I could set some of those filters. If I wanted to, you don't have to. You can still, put a hold on something because you've saved your branch location preferences earlier in settings. Again, you don't have to do an advanced search if you don't want to. So I want to talk to you a little bit about accessing databases. But before we go ahead and do that, I just wanted to share a little bit about what the difference is between an academic database, a library database, right, and just using the internet. And this is something that I have put forth in the brochure that Mr. Shapiro is going to hand out to you after the presentation that might, serve as a strong reminder or a clarifier of anything I've said in this presentation. So a database, right, is really this hub of scholarly content. And results also can be filtered. So I can type in, I only want journals that were published from 2010 to 2020. I only want certain subjects or geographic areas to populate. And you cannot do that with the internet, right? Your results on Google can seem very, very unclear because a lot of it is just unpublished material. Again, Google is just a list of websites. These are not peer-reviewed journals and all held in a database. And what I mean by peer-reviewed is, okay, so I'm a librarian and I write something that is then only fact-checked and reviewed by other librarians in my field. And so that is just, again, it's a quality way to research, and then in turn the database becomes this quality research tool because other humans have given me input in how I collected my data, and then they go ahead and make that information available. On the web, right, there's not a human that's able to give any advice really because it's oftentimes the information is unverified. And so I know on Twitter you see that blue check that account is verified, but I can't say the same, and then those have been discredited even, that's not really a true blue check mark. So again, how do we know? And so a database is definitely a really reliable, credible, and trustworthy source. And I'm going to talk to you later on this semester about the difference between, how do we spot and how do we discern something that, and use our judgment and apply our skepticism in a healthy way when it comes to sifting through sources. Okay, so let's go ahead and see how we can get to databases. So I'm on I'm in the catalog, and if I went to just the home page, I'd also be given the browse function and the button. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Browse, and under More, I'm going to go ahead and select Online Resources. And I put in the brochure that my favorite databases are EBSCO, Gale, and JSTOR. They are very, very broad. You can get PDF texts, you can get the full journal article, you can print it, you can save it, you can email it to yourself. I'm going to show you how to do all that. And it just covers a wide array of topics. All databases are very subject specific. So I've seen databases that are just on genealogy, or there are databases that, I just saw one recently that is just Chicago history from 1908 to 1918. So that's super specific, right? And so here is the homepage for online resources, but because I already know that I like Gale, JSTOR, and EBSCO is also a database that our school subscribes to, as well. So I'm going to go to A to Z resources. And something also really interesting, when you go off to college in like 4 years, part of your college tuition pays for your university library to have a subscription to these databases. And so again, you know it's a credible source. I'm going to start with JSTOR. Just when I was in college, JSTOR was the only thing that I used. The only thing that I don't love about it is it's saying that there are older issues, and so we're going to change the publication dates, but it does still cover a wide range of topics. So let's go ahead and click on JSTOR. And oops, did you see that library icon button? That's because I am a Chicago Public Library. I've registered my card, and so it's showing me that I have access. JSTOR subscriptions are super, super expensive. When you graduate from college, you're actually locked out of all of the databases because your tuition is no longer paying for it. That's a whole other separate conversation that we can, that's a whole other conversation. Okay, so let's go ahead and search for Ruth Bader Ginsburg in JSTOR, and let's see what happens. And on the left, here are my filters. These are ways to refine my searches. So let's say I only want journal articles, okay? So I'll check journal articles, but I only want to look at ones that were published within the last 10 years. I think 10 years is pretty good. I know there's some debate about, publication dates, and is something that's written in 1990, is that still up to date, especially when it comes to subjects like science? And so you definitely want to be mindful of that, just depending on your subject. Okay, human rights hero Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, family ties. This looks super interesting, just who she was as a child and her experiences that then crafted who she is today. And maybe this is about tells a little bit about her life as a married person and her own family. So all journal articles have what's called an annotation. So this is a short paragraph before you get to the actual journal article that you can peruse, again, just to save you some time. And so, right, the public life, being a parent, in law school, okay, right, because I said when she was in law school, I know when she went to a dinner, one of the questions was that she was asked, why are you here? Because you are obviously taking up the space for a male law student to not be here. And she said that she just wanted to help her husband better understand the law, because she was so put on the spot at that dinner and she just didn't know what to say, that she felt like defaulting to furthering her husband's career was the right thing to say. And so, yeah, this is definitely something I want to read. Saved. Well, I already saved it. So let's see. Power. I did save this earlier, but that's okay. I also want to show you, so you can download this as a PDF. So super easy to print, save it to yourself. You can email it to yourself. I think that this looks great, right? Why not? And so this is definitely something that I think, that is credible and usable. And I also want to talk to you about the citations. So what's nice about journals is that they already give you citations. And so you can simply copy this citation and, save it to a clipboard for a later date. But this is also a teachable tool. So it's not just like, I just got a free citation, but it's also showing me how to do the citation. And so here I can see that, okay, author's last name separated by a comma, then their first name. This is the article's title in quotes. This is the journal article that's italicized, where I got it from, the volume number, the issue number. It was published in 2010. How long is it? I got it from JSTOR and I accessed it today, November 9th. I can't believe it's already November 9th. And so that's just, again, something that can save you some time, but also teach you how to properly do a citation. Let's keep scrolling because I do want to show you how to save an article. Struck by stereotype, Ruth Bader Ginsburg on pregnancy discrimination. As yes, this looks really good. So let's hit save. Create a new folder. Thesis statement. Let's say okay, create, and I'm going to view it in my workspace if it allows me to. Maybe not. Well, you can still print it and email it to yourself, but I do want to show you, I'm going to go to Gale next because that shows you can directly email something to yourself from Gale. So I'm going to go to the G's, okay, and Gale eBooks, variety of subjects, encyclopedic articles. Okay, very good. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Let's try this. Again, I'm just doing a search. And this shows me where anything about Ruth Bader Ginsburg can be found, as well as these. And so these are the covers of the journals, the articles that they're written in. Okay. Women in the American Political System. So that is the name of the journal. That's perfect, right? Okay. So I don't really like the look of this. I like it more as a PDF. It just feels cleaner to me. And so I can also download this as a PDF and it's going to pop up in my desktop. That's okay. And here it is. And what I love about a PDF like this is if I scroll down, I'm going to go see. Oh, okay, here, yeah, in this one as well. So further reading. And again, this is just shows me not only the credibility of the researcher, so they took their time and they used these sources, but this is what a works cited page is supposed to do for a reader. It's supposed to take them on a journey to say, oh, I really enjoyed learning about this subject. Where can I find more of it? And so that's what's I love about some of these articles. Maybe not so much this one. That's okay. And if I want to email it to myself, I would just simply hit the letter icon and I'm going to send it to my Bernard Zell email. And then when I check my email, I should be getting something from Gale. And I actually did this earlier as just a test and it was in there. So that's good news. And that's just, one way to always have, I say, whatever you find, even if it doesn't seem like it's relevant in the moment, just save it, print it, email it to yourself. You never know when you're going to, re-reference it or think about your subject differently. Maybe your topic modifies in some way. And, it's just a way to, I think, work smarter and more efficiently when it comes to gathering your sources. I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, I'm kind of running out of time on my video, but I'm going to go ahead and let you check out EBSCO for yourself. So you would just click on E. This is magazines and journals. It covers 3,500 publications. It's huge. And so, yeah, just take this time in class and check out EBSCO. Type in, a few keywords from your thesis statement and see where your search takes you. I'm also going to go ahead and give you my email. It's atownhouse@bernardzell.org. And if, I'd love to hear how your search is going, how your initial search went. If you need help getting a library card, if you're a little bit confused about how to access databases or, how to save them, feel free to shoot me an email and I'd love to just, talk to you. No matter where you are in the research process, I'd love to just brainstorm with you. Thanks so much and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.